Hello, welcome to my presentation titled Early Methodism and the Early United States, How Methodism Paralleled the Development of the New Nation. Methodism and the early United States developed side by side. As America experimented with forms of democratic participation, Methodism created spiritual structures such as class meetings and lay people leadership positions that empowered everyday believers. This parallel growth shows that religion and national identity were mutually reinforced during this time in the early years of the Republic. Historians such as Joe Cello remind us that the Methodism carried deep European pious roots, emphasizing discipline, heartfelt devotion, and communal accountability. These qualities matched well with the emerging nation's emphasis on personal liberty and civic responsibility. Kinchelo's research highlights the pietistic social religious background of Methodism, which encouraged emotional sincerity and structured small group formation. These ideals crossed the Atlantic to a nation that was full of promise and change and newness. Monk's work shows that even Anglicanism in the colonies lacked uniformity, which helped Methodism stand out as a movement capable of adapting to a diverse population. Both the nation and Methodism were shaped by mobility, frontier expansion, and a culture eager for accessible religious and political expression. Robert Monk emphasized that Anglican and Methodist relationships in the colonies were marked by both unity and tension. The same dynamic existed in the emerging United States, where political factions debated the meaning of liberty and governance. Methodism mirrored this process by forming its own identity within and eventually beyond the the Anglican structures. Democratic participation, moral citizenship, and accessible spiritual practices allowed Methodism to resonate deeply within communities experiencing the birth of national self definition and identity. The organizational parallels between Methodism and the new nation are especially clear. Ritchie, Rowe, and Schmidt describe how Methodism, connectionalism, circuits, conferences, and itinerant preachers, things like that, created a communication network remarkably similar to early American postal administrative structures. Circuit riders linked distant settlements, just as early American infrastructure linked states and regions. Class meetings operated like small democratic forums, allowing ordinary people, lay people, to voice concerns and support one another spiritually. With the appointment of Francis Asbury as a bishop, formalized the American structure, which was crucial for managing the expansion of the Methodist Church, the Methodist movement. Historian David Hempton notes that Methodists helped shape the growing republic through widespread engagement in literacy, moral reform, and civic responsibility. Early Methodists also embraced temperance, humanitarian concerns, and anti slavery. These efforts paralleled the nation's attempt to cultivate virtuous citizens capable of sustaining a democratic republic. In many communities, Methodist congregations became center of education reform and social stability. Taken together, the scholarship shows that Methodism thrived because it moved with the people, adapted to local conditions, and reinforced ideals that Americans valued. Its rapid expansion resembled the nation's own growth, and its emphasis on disciplined living, lay empowerment, and moral citizenship shaped American culture in lasting ways. Understanding early Methodism helps illuminate how Americans blended faith, identity, and civic life during the Republic's first decades. And here are my sources. Thank you.